Welcome to the ranch. Today is one of those days where, well, as you can see with my shirt, it is raining a lot. All the ducks are enjoying themselves, but everybody else is kind of stuck inside. The cows are not happy. The turkeys are kind of just trying to meander about to figure out what they want to do. But what I've decided I'm going to do today is work on a project that I started about 5 months ago, maybe even 6. But in grand total, it's been about a year and a half. I don't know if you've been able to watch the video yet, but over a year ago, maybe a year and a half, right around that mark, we had to take down a couple pine trees here at the farm. And when we took them down, the idea was for me to be able to take them out, be able to plane them, and make them boards so that I could build something that I really wanted to build. And that's what this video is about today. I'm really excited about it because what I'm about to build is something that is not just in my heart to build because I like to build out of wood, but it's also something that takes me back to a place when I was a kid. When I was little, my dad used to watch This Old Home or This Old House, something like that, with Bob Vila.
Presentation of This Old House is made possible by Weyerhaeuser.
This Old House. If you've been watching for the last 6 weeks, you know that we've been involved in redoing part of an old Cape Cod-style house.
Then you had the Yankee Workshop.
The final episode will be dedicated to installing the cabinets themselves. Now it's going to take several shows. We're going to get started today with Kitchen Basics Part 1.
You had a bunch of different shows back in the 80s and the 90s that would highlight being able to build this rustic piece of equipment or farm or furniture, whatever it was. And they used old tools. Sometimes they didn't use any power tools at all. And that really just speaks to my heart. I like the old school way of doing things. Not to the point where I want to do all that, but I respect it. But what I want to do is I want to be able to build a bench. It's not something really fancy, but it's something that's from my heart. It's something that I'm really excited about doing. And that's what you need when you're building something, is finding what inspires you or finding what you enjoy doing and go and do it. This is where I want to be able to take my mind off of the things of the world. My full-time job, that is always pressure. I want to be able to get to the point where I can kind of let that go for a little bit. As I get to a place where I can work with my hands, work with my mind, and be able to build something that's from my heart. So the other part about this is it's not just something that we're going to be able to sit on, but also it's going to be like a chest bench so that Monica can put all of her goods in it. She can put her canned goods, her bagged goods, the things that we put away so that it doesn't spoil sitting in the pantry. And it's stuff that we don't have to go and purchase, but we can make it right here on the farm. And so I'm super excited about this. So while all the cows are out here getting soaked and staring at me while I'm making this video, I am going to get started on the project. Let me show you what we got.
But first, let's hear from our sponsor. All right, guys, let's be honest. We all feel like life can be overwhelming at times. We can get through our day and still feel like it's never ending. And honestly, that's where our sponsor, BetterHelp, really can come in handy. Let me explain. Our animals need us, our kids need us, our husbands or wives need us, our family needs us, our friends need us. Our chore list is literally a mile long. Sometimes we don't even feel like making dinner for ourselves because things can just feel overwhelming, stressful. You don't even want to do your favorite hobby anymore. Whatever it is, sometimes even hanging out with friends and family just doesn't feel like the best option. This is where BetterHelp will come in handy. See, BetterHelp's going to connect you with a licensed therapist who's trained to listen and give you helpful, unbiased advice. It's super easy. Here's how. First, you go to their site. You can use my link, BetterHelp.com/BlandsRanch. You answer a few questions, and then BetterHelp is going to match you up with a professional who's had years of experience helping people with struggles just like yours and mine. You'll be matched to a therapist usually within 48 hours, so you can get started fast. You can do it all from your phone or a computer, via phone call, video chat, or even messaging. Whatever makes you feel the most comfortable, it's literally the easiest possible way to start talking to a therapist. Let BetterHelp connect you to someone, a therapist who can support you all from the comfort of your own home, or maybe from the comfort of your backyard. Visit BetterHelp.com/Bland's Ranch or choose Bland's Promised Land Ranch during sign up and enjoy a special discount on your first month. And now, back to our video.
I got my tool belt from when I was like 18. I'm literally on the last hole. No, I always wear it this high. The belt has shrunk. So I can't really get a good shot of the wood the way I want. So the best way to do it is just get down here on my knees. You know what? Let me get comfortable. There we go. Man, I'm so comfortable now. Okay, truth be told, a lot of the prep work to get ready for this video was done prior to shooting the video. So I've been out at the barn for probably about an hour and a half to 2 hours to find the exact boards that I wanted to make sure that we were able to build the bench the way I wanted. So what I did was I brought it in here. As you can see, there's spacing in between these because I want to make sure that they don't warp. I want to make sure that air continues to go through them. And they've been drying for about 6 months. And down here in the heat of Texas, I'm okay with that. We're at a good spot right now. So I went ahead and just tried to maintain the same structure that I had out in the barn. And so what we're going to do is we're going to select these boards to figure out which ones I need for the base, the sides, and the top. So that's what we're going to do right now is we're going to pick out what we need to do all of it. Now, the key is that the top of the bench needs to be the biggest because it's going to close over top. So I don't want to get a piece that's too small. So I want to find the biggest one for that first. I'm not going to show you all that. I don't think that you need me to show you that. But then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make actual boards out of this. So I'm going to take off the live edge and cut it down to the exact size I need. Now look at this wood, and this is just beautiful, beautiful grain in this, and I'm super excited about this. Once we get it planed down and sanded, it's going to be amazing. These are 2-inch thick slabs of wood, and so they do have some weight to them. They were even heavier when they were wet, but now that they're dried out, everything is much lighter as expected. So I want to get this piece here, and what I want to have to do is I'm going to basically chalk line it and then cut out the actual board size that I need. Now, when I first started this project, I actually drew up a sketch of what I needed, the size of it. You can see up in this corner here, up there, is looking at the size of a quart jar. I measured it so that I can have a better idea of exactly how big I needed this bench. So I am attempting to make this as I drew it. However, I did need to modify it a little bit. And what you can see on the back side is this is the base of the bench. And what I've done is, instead of having an 18-inch slab, now we had some really nice pieces of wood, but 18 inches is that's a pretty good long distance. Now, for those who don't go to Home Depot or Lowe's or don't build a whole lot, a lot of times you'll see like 10-inch boards, 12-inch boards, but that's usually the width that I've seen anyway, and I'm by no means a master carpenter, so you can certainly leave some comments if you feel like I'm way off and I need to just shut my yap hole. Otherwise, I'm just telling you what I've experienced. So right here, this is 18 inches, and you see how big that is. That's very big. So I only had a couple slabs that were big enough to do the tops of the bench. Like I said earlier, you got to make sure your top is one piece. That way it's not pinching any booty cheeks that are on the bench. That's the whole idea, is to be able to have a nice smooth top for you to sit on. Now, because the base is not something that you see unless you open up the bench, what I have done is I've taken two smaller pieces, cut it down to size so that it will be a good firm base, but not noticeable that it's two pieces. So without any further conversation, I'm going to go ahead and create our board here. And what I'm actually needing is a 13-inch board. So it will be 70 inches. Well, not 70 inches, I have to recalculate that. And then 13 inches high, because it's going to sit on the base. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this piece, and then be ready to do the next process. This is a really nice board right here, and what's really cool about this is the fact that this was all harvested right here at my house from the tree that we cut down. The next step in our process is to plane this wood. Now, I have played with this a few times. You really need to practice before you just get in here and get after it. So I would suggest doing that if you get a planer. So let's go ahead and plane this and then sand it, and then you'll see what the finished product of one single board will look like. You can see the difference between what is planed and then what is not. While I was planing this, I wanted to bring something up because I was thinking about this with other projects that I've had. A lot of times when you make your own boards, there is definitely a sense of imperfection, especially for me, being a perfectionist. You know, we're conditioned to see all the wood in its perfect state when you go to like a Home Depot, Lowe's, outside of the ones who have little cracks or breaks or something like that, or it's warped. Of course, you don't really pay for those like you do a good piece of wood. But one of the things that kind of discouraged me along the way when I was milling my own wood and prepping it to build things was that I was looking for that perfection. But always remember that there is a way to make it look perfect. In other words, sanding, taking a little bit off to give it the appearance, and sometimes caulk will also cover up any kind of imperfections. Just remember that at the end of the day, you have to feel good about what you're doing. So don't be so critical, and remember about the amount of work and effort you're putting into it. And be encouraged with that. Now, time to sand. Got a nice belt sander. Let's get after it. So we just finished up one board. This is one out of 8 boards that I'm going to need to make. There's a lot that goes into it. You got to cut it, make sure everything's square, make sure that we plane it, sand it, and get it ready to be assembled. So I'm going to continue to cut these boards. I'm also going to enjoy the rain. I don't know if the microphone's picking it up, but the rain is coming down really hard. It is pouring down out there. There's my table again with my coffee. So sometimes it's okay to take a break, especially on the weekends. You're building something, enjoy what you're doing. So I'm going to sit here. I love the rain. I love the sound of the rain. The thunder that's rolling is enjoyable to me. So I've already got a cup of coffee. I'm going to sit back, relax, enjoy what I'm doing out here, and just take a little bit of a mental break. I love it. All right, we're going to continue with these boards, and then when I'm ready to assemble the box, I will show you how I do it. All right, we have finished cutting all the boards, and now it's time for me to build the box. I don't want to cut the lid yet, so I'm not technically done all the boards. I'm going to wait until I have the whole box built. So I'm going to go ahead and assemble it here and then show you how I put it together. This is the bottom of the box, and I've already put it together and I did not record that piece. Let me show you what I did. This is on the underside, so what you're looking at will be on the ground. And what I did was get some brackets, and I actually routed down into the wood so that this would not touch the wood floors in the house, and the heads are recessed enough so that I can slide it across the kitchen floor and not worry about it scratching it up. So you can kind of see how deep I went. In addition to the brackets, I've also put dowels down in here, you can see right there, just to give it a little additional support to make sure that no weight is going to pull this thing apart. This is the basic view of the box, and you can see here, as I said earlier, about some of the imperfections, and I'm not going to be too terribly concerned about that because I know that I can cover that up a little bit. I can take the edge down and make it a little bit more even. But overall, I'm really excited about this box. It's exactly what I was hoping for. I have a lot of the desired pieces of the grain on the exterior that I really liked. This piece in particular, I really like this. And once I give this the final sanding and put some clear coat on it, that knot is going to be beautiful. It's going to be awesome, and I can't wait to see what it looks like. So I'm going to continue on with this and show you how I put this together, because right now everything is just kind of sitting up here, kind of balanced. So I'll show you how I dowel it in and glue it, and then we'll be ready to put it together and leave it for the night. So the first thing I want to do to find my spot for the dowels is measure each of these boards. I know they're 8.5 inches. And so half of 8.5 obviously is 4 1/4. So I want to mark 4 1/4, 4 1/4, and then I'm going to go 1 inch off the end because I know these boards are 2 inches thick, and that's where I'm going to drill my hole. Not an exact science. Oh, almost got this one right on the 1 inch mark. Now these are the dowels that I purchased right here. They're 1/2 inch in diameter and about 1.5 inches long. And so what you want to make sure that you're careful of is not to drill a hole too deep to where you lose that. So the way that I prep myself is by getting my little paddle bit here, if you can see it. I have black electrical tape, and I have used it as a marker. So I'm going to drill up to the bottom of this electrical tape so that I don't go too deep. Now I want to do the same thing on the bottom of this end board here, so that it will be able to slide right over just like that. Now, one thing that I want to mention is that while you're putting the boards together, make sure that you have the grain that you desire on the outside. So make sure that you pick what you like. It's customized. And there you go. So now I'm going to do that all the way around the base, and then also the connecting pieces where they go together. So again, this is being built to store a lot of canned goods. So that's why I'm putting a lot of effort into making this really sturdy. That's why it's 2 inch wood. That's why I'm using the dowels, the brackets, screws, glue, because I don't want this thing to budge. And ultimately, being a bench, the whole idea is to be able to put a lot of people on it. So with a 2-inch slab bench, it doesn't matter how big you are, it shouldn't move. Hopefully. So we have tested all of the dowels and made sure that they are in the right place. And now we are going to glue. So I'm going to put some of this Gorilla Glue, specifically for wood, obviously. And I'm going to put it in the hole on both sides, put the dowel in, and then let the weight kind of set everything in place. So we'll go ahead and start at that end, work our way around this box. And this is where we start feeling like we're almost done, because it's starting to be put together, and we know once we put the glue in there, not coming apart. There we go, looking good. Everything fell right in place. Well, here we are. I've got the box built. I'm pretty excited about it, but I'm done for the day. I've got everything glued. And the next time I see you will be day 3. And we'll be able to get the lid built and ready to finish it up. Well, here we are. We're getting back at the bench again today. And as we get in here to the garage, you can see here behind me that once again, it's bad weather coming. The last couple years, I couldn't seem to get any kind of rain here. Now, we're getting it all the time, which is good for me because now I'm able to get in the garage, finish up this bench, and get it put into place. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get the top of the bench finished up. And I have slabs of wood sitting off to the side. And basically what I'm looking for is the width of the bench, and it's roughly at 17 inches right here. And the good thing about a 17-inch bench, the width of it anyway, or the depth of it, depending on how you're looking at it, but having a seat that's 17 inches deep, you'll be able to get any kind of heinies on this thing. Little heinies, little tiny heinies, or big heinies. And when you build with 2-inch wood like we're building here, it's going to be able to withstand a lot of weight, which is the whole idea. So now I'm going to find my slab and get that cut. We're going to get that slab of wood, and we're going to basically make it to fit right over top of this, and then we'll hinge it up and it'll be done. So today what I want to do, because tomorrow is a work day, is I'm going to get the top of the bench cut, sand it, planed, all that stuff, and then hopefully get it prepped and ready so that I can put a coat of lacquer on it, and then come back tomorrow, do another coat of lacquer, probably a third coat of lacquer, then put the hinge on the top of the bench, and then we'll be done. So I have a couple slabs left, and this one on the bottom is actually the one I'm going to use. I chose this slab here because of the coloring of the top. Now remember, this is what everybody's going to see. So I like the fact that it's got all the green in here, different colors. It's just, to me, really beautiful to look at, and once we sand it down, it's going to be even more beautiful. So now that I have my slab of wood selected, I'm going to go ahead and measure it up, cut it, sand it, plane it. I'm not going to show that to you in the video. You've already seen enough of that. So once I get this cut down, sanded, planed, I'll catch back up with you. We got our lid made for the bench. So this will become our bench top. This is what we're going to sit on. And I can't tell you how excited I am. I wish I was able to stand up and really exclaim how excited I am. We are at the final process, basically, outside of putting the hinge on. We are going to put a clear coat or a lacquer on this. This is what we're going to use on the final finish. And this is actually made for floor finish, as you can see here. I selected this for the fact that I want a bench that is very, very durable, able to withstand people sitting on it, standing on it, dropping things on it. So I want something that's going to be very rugged and rough. Let me go ahead and get about 3 coats of finish on this. And then, as we're putting the hinge on, we will talk a little bit more. It is day 4. I've got everything back here lacquered up, not liquored up, lacquered up. And this box looks amazing. I'm going to put the hinge on. It's a piano hinge. I'm going to show you how I do that. We're going to put some felt pieces on the bottom of the bench. And then this bad boy is going to be ready to be moved into the house. And the project is going to be checked off the list. I've already measured out the piano hinge, or the continuous hinge, 11 inches off the end of each corner. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take this, I'm going to put the back end up against here and slide the hinge right across it. You guys are going to hold this. I want to screw it in. Lay it flat. You're going to put, yep, there you go. Just match up your ends. You got it? The most important thing is to keep it on the corner.
Yeah, I got it on the corner.
And you got to come up so it's level. Well, there we go. We just finished the box. Let me take you for a tour around the box and show you all the neat little things that I found during this project. Take a look at this box, everybody. I absolutely love the way this turned out. The grain is simply amazing. One of my favorite parts about this box is the lid right here. This is a knot that I chose to leave in the board so that it gives it a little bit more character. It's what they call a live edge here. And I have a bit of a finger hold here so I can lift it, as well as down here on this side. Now before I open it, I want to show you something that a lot of times when you're working with manufactured stuff, everything is so perfect. Well, you can see that this board has warped a little bit in the process of, right in here, in the process of building this and drying it out. It warped a little bit. And same thing with how everything didn't meet up down here at the bottom corner. But I'm going to tell you something. I actually feel more pride in what we built here from scratch than if I had built something out of a box. So now down here at this end, I mean, look at the sheen on that. It's absolutely beautiful. Another finger hold down here on the end. So by utilizing that, it gives us a good grip point. And look at the inside. The continuous hinge in place, or a piano hinge, depends on who you're talking to. Again, the grain on the inside is absolutely astounding. Some imperfections down there at the end, but in the end, everything is going to do what I wanted it to do, which is to hold booties. That didn't come out right. Is for booties to sit on and have a good dinner. I hope you enjoyed watching this as much as I did making this box. You know, I want to say that sometimes in life we're just so busy, and I say that a lot in my videos, but it's the truth. Sometimes we're just so busy that we don't take time for ourselves. We don't take time to build relationships, to love on our family, to love on our neighbors, to just be quiet and still. And so this box was good for that. I was able to get out here, listen to some good Jesus music, get my mind refocused, take my mind off of work a little bit, and be able to work on this project. And this is going to help the family be able to spend time together. So this is more than just building a box. This was about building memories for me, for the kids, teaching them how to build and letting them be part of the process. And the truth is, we actually built 2 of these boxes. One's already in the house, and the other is right here in front of me. We're going to put on the other side of the table, and this is going to be absolutely amazing. And you know, the thing is that, as I said in the intro, there was a lot of memories that goes into this because of spending time with my dad on Saturday mornings, watching those shows where they were just building things, and just the time spent with that. And so this is good memories for me too, to think about the time that I spent with my dad sitting on the couch watching them build something. But this time we were able to use trees that we cut down on our property by ourselves, trees that we took to the lumber mill and was able to cut it and build these beautiful slabs, or cut these beautiful slabs, so that we could ultimately build this. So this was a project that we started and finished right here on the ranch. And so there's a lot of good memories right here in this box. Hey, who likes building and taking our mind off of things and just slowing down in this world that we live in? Farmers do. Until next time. All right, like a supermodel here, laying out. Oh my God. For real? Everything fell right in place.
Dad's leaving. Oh, sorry.
Okay, take 20. All right, we're just going to shoot this shot with the cat since he won't leave me alone. Now I'm like Dr. Dolittle. Every animal is coming to see what I'm doing.
No, I got it. Yeah, you have to have it as a thing.
It's kind of quiet right now. All the birds left. While I'm planing this, I wanted to tell you something as well. Wood chunk.